Nobody noticed the exact moment everything changed between Bai Lu and Joseph Zeng, because the most life-changing decisions rarely happen under bright cameras or screaming headlines. They happen quietly, in hidden rooms, in exhausted conversations that stretch past midnight, in moments where two people finally stop pretending they're not terrified of losing each other. And what happened during their secret mountain retreat has now become the rumor shaking the entire entertainment world. Fans thought they were watching another celebrity romance slowly bloom across glamorous events and carefully controlled interviews. They thought the soft smiles and playful eye contact were enough to explain the connection between Bai Lu and Joseph Zeng. But nobody knew how close everything came to falling apart before they finally reached the agreement that allegedly changed their future forever. Stay until the end, because this story is not about a simple romance. It is about two people pushed to the edge by fame, pressure, jealousy, family expectations, and the terrifying possibility that love alone might not be enough to survive the world surrounding them. And what Joseph Zeng reportedly said during the final conversation left Bai Lu in tears beneath the rain, while the entire future of their relationship hung by a single answer. Subscribe now, because this story unfolds like a cinematic romance nobody will emotionally recover from anytime soon. 3 weeks before the marriage rumors exploded online, Bai Lu reportedly disappeared from several public gatherings without explanation. At first, fans assumed she was exhausted from filming. Then people noticed something strange. Joseph Zeng also quietly canceled appearances during the same period. No explanations. No public statements. No social media updates together. Just silence. That silence became louder than any headline. Entertainment bloggers immediately began inventing theories. Some claimed they secretly separated. Others insisted family pressure had destroyed the relationship. A few people even believed another celebrity had entered the picture privately. But none of those rumors allegedly came close to the truth. Because while the internet spent days creating chaos online, Bai Lu and Joseph Zeng were reportedly hiding inside a remote luxury villa surrounded by fog-covered mountains hours away from the city. No reporters. No managers. No stylists. Just the sound of rain against giant windows and two people trying to decide whether they were brave enough to build a real future together. The villa itself reportedly looked unreal. Dark wooden interiors glowing beneath amber lights. A fireplace stretching across an entire wall. Massive glass panels overlooking endless hills wrapped in silver fog. Even the air reportedly felt different there, heavy and quiet, like the place itself was protecting them from the outside world. Joseph allegedly arrived first. Witnesses later claimed he spent nearly an hour walking through the villa alone before Bai Lu arrived. Not relaxing. Not enjoying the scenery. Just pacing. Running his hands through his hair repeatedly while staring out toward the mountains like someone preparing for the most important moment of his life. Then Bai Lu finally stepped inside. A long cream-colored coat. Wet hair from the rain. Tired eyes hidden behind a soft smile that reportedly disappeared the second she saw Joseph standing silently near the fireplace. Neither moved immediately. The distance between them reportedly felt heavier than the storm outside. Because despite all the romance rumors surrounding them publicly, very few people knew how emotionally exhausted both of them had become privately. Fame had started poisoning everything around them. Every interaction became analyzed. Every appearance turned into gossip. Every tiny misunderstanding exploded across social media within minutes. At one point, Bai Lu reportedly admitted she no longer recognized which parts of her relationship still belonged to them and which parts now belonged to strangers online. That terrified her. Joseph knew it too. Dinner that evening reportedly felt unusually quiet at first. Soft piano music drifted through the villa while rain slid down the enormous windows beside them. A beautifully prepared table stood between them untouched for almost 20 minutes because neither of them seemed ready to begin the conversation both knew was coming. Then Joseph finally broke the silence. Not with a speech. Not with dramatic declarations. Just one quiet question.
Are you still happy with me?
Bai Lu reportedly looked down immediately after hearing it. Not because she wanted to avoid the answer, but because the question itself hit harder than she expected. Nobody had asked her that in a long time. Not fans. Not reporters. not managers. Everyone always asked whether their relationship looked perfect. Nobody asked whether it still felt safe. And according to insiders, that was the real problem quietly growing between them. The relationship looked beautiful from the outside. Inside, both of them were struggling to breathe beneath the pressure. Bai Lu eventually admitted something that reportedly shattered Joseph completely. She said she was scared their love was slowly turning into performance. The sentence reportedly hung in the air for several seconds without movement. Joseph did not interrupt her. He simply listened. And once she started speaking, everything she had been holding back reportedly came pouring out at once. She talked about waking up anxious before interviews because she feared saying the wrong thing. She talked about seeing edited videos online accusing her of manipulating Joseph emotionally. She talked about family members warning her that celebrity relationships rarely survive once marriage enters the conversation. Then came the confession that changed the atmosphere entirely. Bai Lu reportedly admitted she almost walked away from the relationship 2 months earlier without telling him. Joseph allegedly froze. Not angry, not defensive, just stunned, because he had no idea things had become that painful for her internally. She explained that one night after filming she sat alone in her apartment scrolling through endless comments about their relationship and suddenly realized she was terrified of becoming emotionally trapped in a life controlled by strangers. That fear nearly convinced her to disappear before things became even more serious. The room reportedly went completely still after she admitted that. Outside, thunder rolled across the mountains while rain hammered against the glass hard enough to shake the windows slightly. Then Joseph stood up. Not dramatically. Slowly. He walked toward the fireplace and stayed there silently for a long moment before finally speaking again. What he said next reportedly changed everything forever. He told Bai Lu he was no longer afraid of losing popularity. He was afraid of losing her while trying too hard to protect popularity. That sentence broke something inside her instantly. Because for the first time since the relationship began, she reportedly realized Joseph was no longer thinking like a celebrity protecting his image. He was thinking like someone desperate not to lose the person he loved. The conversation reportedly continued deep into the night. No glamorous romance. No polished movie-style perfection. Just honesty. Messy honesty. Joseph admitted he hated pretending they were less important to each other than they truly were. Bai Lu admitted she sometimes pushed him away emotionally whenever things became too intense because fear always convinced her disaster was coming next. Then came the moment nobody expected. Joseph reportedly walked toward a small wooden cabinet near the fireplace and removed a thin black folder hidden inside. Bai Lu allegedly looked confused immediately. Inside the folder were pages. Not contracts. Not business documents. Handwritten plans. Travel ideas. Future home sketches. Possible wedding locations quietly researched over several months. Even private notes about how he wanted to protect their future from public chaos. Witnesses later claimed Bai Lu started crying before she finished reading the second page. Because suddenly everything became real. This was not temporary for him. Not fantasy. Not emotional excitement. Joseph had already started building a future around her long before she realized it. Then, he reportedly confessed the truth he had been hiding for weeks. He said he invited her to the villa because he needed an answer. Not about dating. Not about rumors. About forever. The silence afterward reportedly felt endless. Bai Lu stood near the fireplace, holding the folder tightly against her chest while tears rolled down her face quietly. Joseph did not pressure her. He did not beg. He simply told her one final thing. He said love was no longer enough for him anymore.
He wanted partnership.
Stability. Loyalty. A real life together beyond cameras and interviews. Then he asked her whether she could truly imagine walking beside him through all of it. The fame. The criticism. The chaos. The years ahead. Everything. Bai Lu reportedly walked toward the giant window afterward and stared at the rain for several minutes, without speaking. And in that moment Joseph allegedly believed he already lost her. Because the longer she stayed silent, the more terrified he became. Then suddenly she turned around, still crying, still shaking slightly, but smiling for the first time that entire night. What she said next reportedly became the emotional turning point fans everywhere are discussing now. She told him she was tired of running from happiness simply because the world kept convincing her happiness would eventually disappear. Then she crossed the room slowly and placed the folder back into his hands before quietly saying something that reportedly left Joseph unable to speak afterward. If we are doing this, then we stop treating our future like something temporary. That was the moment their emotional marriage agreement was reportedly sealed. Not with rings. Not with cameras. Not with public announcements. Just two exhausted people finally deciding they were more afraid of losing each other than facing the pressure waiting outside those mountains. The rest of the night reportedly felt completely different afterward. Lighter. Warmer. Like both of them could finally breathe again. They cooked together near midnight because neither had touched dinner earlier. Joseph accidentally burned part of the food, which made Bai Lu laugh so hard she nearly cried again. Music echoed softly through the villa, while the storm outside slowly faded into silence. At one point, they reportedly sat together on the floor beside the fireplace, wrapped beneath the same blanket, while discussing things they never allowed themselves to imagine publicly before. Children. Private vacations, far away from cameras. Growing older together without needing to constantly prove their love online.
Simple things.
Real things. And according to insiders, that became the most beautiful part of the entire night. Not the romance itself, but the relief. The relief of finally choosing each other completely after months of fear almost destroyed everything between them. Now the entertainment world continues exploding with rumors about secret engagement plans and private family meetings reportedly happening behind closed doors. Fans everywhere are waiting for confirmation while social media continues melting down emotionally over every new detail leaking online. But perhaps the real story is much deeper than celebrity marriage gossip. Maybe the real story is about two people who nearly let fear ruin something extraordinary before finally realizing love only survives when both people stop hiding from the future they secretly want together. And now everyone is asking the same question. Will Bai Lu and Joseph Zeng become the rare celebrity couple strong enough to survive the brutal pressure surrounding fame, or is the hardest chapter of their relationship only beginning now that the entire world is watching them even more closely than before? If this story pulled you in, subscribe right now because the next rumored chapter reportedly involves a hidden engagement celebration, emotional family reactions, and one shocking surprise Joseph prepared for Bai Lu that nobody saw coming.